if this podcast had one single message or legacy for all of those listeners or people listening to this in the future, what would you want it to be?
Oh my goodness, diversify, right? Like in a word. Like I would hope that anyone that's listened to Land and Everything Else over the last few years, or even just picked up this one episode today, diversification, right? The entire thesis statement of the podcast is that in the wealth management space, we often overlook land and ag completely in a portfolio. And we can show with modeling, we can show with access points and entry points that land and different types of agricultural crops, farmland, permanent crops, any kind of row crops, and even for that matter, sort of more developed land, inevitably has this incredible place with stocks and bonds and a portfolio. And I think, the conversation generally will stop at real estate and specifically real estate investment trusts. And we check that box and we think we're done. And I would really hope that the thesis of this entire podcast is that you're not done enough for that. And there's more to go. And when you build sophisticated portfolios for clients, especially in an institutional high net worth or family office space, you absolutely need to be looking at ag and land as piece of that portfolio.
Which I think is overlooked frequently.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And that was kind of the whole driving mechanism of this podcast early on. And it was kind of fun. We got to talk about commercial real estate. We did some private debt. We did private equity. We've covered some other types of alts. But at its core, we named it Land and Everything Else. And then we've definitely just made the point to say diversify. And I think that's my one, I want to leave you with that, like diversify your portfolio and look beyond stocks and bonds. There's so much more out there.
Mm-hmm.